Yes, we know there's millions of reasons as to why a relationship can be unhealthy and all the contributing factors and all that, right? All the toxic cycles and, all the poor communication, all the things. But through it all, at the center, there is one artery, missing key piece that keeps a relationship unhealthy and makes it almost impossible to fix it. And that missing key ingredient is sustainable love. Not love itself, sustainable love. Now, what does that mean? Well, in order for it to be sustainable love, it has to be something that is manageable for both people. But before we can get to it being manageable love, right, you have to make sure it actually is loving, right? Sometimes people think they're loving their partner or loving on them the right way, but there's a whole bunch of toxic elements mixed into that love that they're trying to give and offer. So first, it has to be a clarity of, am I and is my partner loving on me, we're loving on each other, me loving on them in a way that is healthy for both of us, right? Does it actually serve both of us, or is it maybe creating hindrance, right? Is it, enabling, right? Is it me trying to be nurturing and caring for my partner, but I'm actually crippling their ability to build a muscle or to not heal from wounds they have, all sorts of things, right? Is the love actually healthy love, right? Is it helpful to me and to them? Is it positive? Is it loving? Does it feed our spirits? Does it build us up? And have I dotted my I's and crossed my T's to confirm why it does such, right? So after you get past that piece, then it becomes, is the way my partner needs to be loved, right? Something that I can provide consistently and sustainably without feeling like I'm burning out, without feeling like I have to change who I am and become something I'm not, to where the more I love on them the way they need, I chip away at myself and become less of who I need to be for me. Because if that is happening, that's going to also create an issue and you trying to resolve issues. If anything, in your attempt of, you wind up creating a new issue, an issue of resentment that builds over time. Because anyone or anything that causes you to move further away from how you self-identify, right? Like your true identity, not, you feel like you had a rough life and things have come your way in rough ways. And so therefore you start saying, no one cares about me and I'm supposed to live it the rough way in life, right? That's not an identity that serves you, right? But for what makes you feel like you're your best self, what makes you feel happy, what makes you feel vibrant, feel like a whole person. If what you need to do to make your partner feel loved, what's required for them sustainably, meaning it doesn't end, right? Because the way we need to be loved, we need to be loved. That doesn't turn off or shift at some point, more likely, right? Yes, people grow and they need more or less of different things, but the core foundation is usually the same. So if what your partner requires, or what you require for that matter, in order to feel loved sustainably, is a strain or a burden to the other person, we have an artery issue. But it's the lack or the missing component of us learning, how does my partner need to be loved? And am I providing that sustainably, meaning consistently? So when we talk about the consistency part, see, the sustainable first is the you piece. It's the, all right, after I start doing the things my partner needs to be loved on by, right? Or they're doing it for me. How am I built to actually keep that going, right? Is it sustainable for me? Or am I going to have to become something or someone I'm not in order to do this? But then the next piece becomes, how frequent, how consistent am I able to offer this love or make it present? Or how consistent am I receiving the love that I require, right? Artery pieces. Because oftentimes we will genuinely love our partners. They'll love us, right? And we'll say I love them to the high heavens until the right circumstance comes along when they did something that upsets you or whatever the case is. And now you blow up on them. Now maybe you talk disrespectful to them, or you're being rude or aggressive or whatever it is, blaming them, pointing the finger, making them the bad guy, all the stuff to where that love, right, that needs to be consistent is not present in those moments, to where there's too many breaks in the pattern building of consistent, sustainable love. And when these components are missing, what it does is it allows a huge breeding ground for toxicity, for unhealthy moments, for the memories you don't want to stand out most. Because your brain is pre-wired to focus on the negative more easily and readily than the positive, not because we have sick minds, but because in nature, something that is negative most likely is dangerous to you, could be harmful for you, and therefore impact your survival, right? So in a very instinctual, primal wiring way, your brain's going to always default and let the painful moments shine bright. Well, I can say shine brighter, but scream louder, right? Because it can be potentially harmful to you. This is why it's so important to maintain consistency as much as possible with the healthy, sustainable love, right? So that always overpowers and outshines the negative moments. And if you look in almost any relationship that is really struggling in an unhealthy way, and it's been doing so for a while, you will find the lack of sustainable love, right? Something that both people feel that they can keep up with, that's actually healthy for each other, for the other person, what have you, and you'll find a lack of consistency of that love once it's been figured out, right? To where the issues at play start to have more impact and more of a voice than the actual love that brought those two people together in the first place. But when sustainable love is present and it is very consistent, then now you see couples bound together and work through any challenges and tackle any mountains together, no matter how difficult they are. Yes, is there a breaking point for everyone? Yes, that can be true, right? It could be deal breakers. But more often than not, a lot of people that are in ongoing unhealthy relationships isn't a matter of deal breakers being the issue. It's there's not enough love and intentionality towards finding the love and sustaining the love in the equation. And there's more of a focus on being right or protecting yourself or being cautious or fearful of trusting the other person, the other side, or what have you. All these things that keeps your focus on what you don't want versus what you do want, which is to be in love sustainably and consistently experience it. So if you and your partner need help learning how to sustainably love each other and be consistent in it so you can be successful at healing your relationship if there's anything you're dealing with, or to keep it healthy, email or DM me the word coaching and we'll get the work as long as you're truly ready to put the work in. If you're not ready for one-on-one coaching, on the time or the space, then email or DM me the word revival to join my Relationship Revival Hub community, where you learn the same things I teach my clients one-on-one at your own pace, on your own time, with my live weekly coaching lessons and Q&A sessions. And it's always replayable, so you can watch it back at your own time, at your own pace, whenever you want to. And exclusive content I make only for my members to answer your questions directly and provide you whatever tools you need on top of my courses to help you get the best relationship results you can. Either way, do something to get in the race. Let's get it.